Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fitness Goal Friday. Today, I'm really excited to talk about the topic of how to get back on track quickly. The goal of the Best You podcast is to allow you to feel confident about what you need to do, why you need to do it, and how to do it in order to get closer and closer to your best you. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fitness Goal Friday. Have you ever used the phrase or used the saying that I need to get back on track? Because if so, today's episode is going to be talking about how to get back on track quickly. You see, successful people in whatever it is that they're successful in, successful people are not perfect all the time, but when they do imperfect things, they self-correct very quickly. Now, people who are super fit, they're jacked, they're shredded, whatever it is. It's not like that person never drinks alcohol. Now, obviously, there's going to be some people out there who never drink alcohol, never eat sweets and stuff like that for a long period of time. But generally speaking, most people who are like that are not perfect all the time. They don't never drink alcohol. They don't never eat sweets. They don't ever have, it's not like they never have bad weekends. It's just that when they do, they get back on track super quickly. And that's where I like to use the phrase a lot with my clients, self-correcting. So what does self-correcting mean? Self-correcting is that you have fallen off of habits that have been useful to you and you're trying to get back on track with those same habits. So I try to almost imagine it like a railroad track. So you're on track, right? You're practicing good habits that have been getting you closer to your goal. And then a week goes by or a weekend goes by or just a day goes by and you fall off those habits and you stray a little bit from that railroad track and you start going a little bit in a different direction off the rails. It is really important to get back on track as quickly as possible because the more that you move away from those rails, the more the way that you move away from those tracks, the harder it is to get back on track. I truly believe that the longer the duration of neglect of your good habits, the greater the severity of the problem. If you neglect your good habits of working out and eating healthy for weeks on weeks on weeks, you're going to have a bigger problem and a bigger task to get back on track. I think it's really important for people to realize because when you have a bad week or you have a bad weekend, screw it. It's in the past. It's history. Don't worry about it anymore. Get back on track as quickly as you possibly can. So it's like if you have a bad weekend, Monday morning, let's go to work. Get your workout in. And the other thing is a lot of people will say let's say on Wednesday, they have a bad meal and they've been trying to have a really good, perfect week. On Wednesday, they have a bad meal. Then they'll be like, screw it. This week's a wash. I'm going to just stuff my face the rest of the week and I'm going to get back on track on Monday. It's like, no, just because the calendar says it's the beginning of the week doesn't mean you have to wait for that particular point in time. You can self-correct within the week as well. And again, it's really important to get back on track as quickly as possible because the longer you go neglecting your good habits, the harder it is to get back on track. And you think about it this way. If you're somebody who, most of you guys probably are who are listening to this, if you're somebody who has gone an extended period of time where you have worked out regularly and you have eaten healthy regularly, you know what feeling good feels like. You know what high energy feels like. You know what being really fit, what being really healthy and being really confident in yourself looks like and what that feels like. And so if you start to move away from that in any way, shape, or form because you had a really bad week or because you had a bad couple weeks, then you start to feel like you have moved away. You start to feel like you have drifted away and you have fallen off track. But then let's say that 1 week turns into 2, which turns into 3, which turns into 4 weeks, which turns into 2 months and 3 months. Then you've moved so far away from your good habits that you actually don't even feel that bad anymore. Because you don't have what feeling good that wasn't in recent history, so you can't directly compare it to that. So if you felt really good, but then the next week you felt really bad, you can compare it. But if you've just felt bad for a long period of time, then you don't even know you feel bad. You don't even know you're not as fit or not as healthy or not as confident as you could be because you don't have that direct comparison that is closely related in time and space. And so I think that's one of the reasons why people who have never really been healthy, it's so hard for for them to get healthy because they don't even know what that feels like. They are so far off track. They are so far off the rails, making it 10 times or 100 times harder to actually get healthy, to actually get on track because they've moved so far from the rails themselves. So my major takeaway from this is be easy on yourself when you have a bad day, when you have a bad week, when you have a bad couple weeks, whatever it is. Be easy on yourself and realize that that is in the past. You can't do anything about it anymore. What can you do tomorrow to get back on track? Maybe you have a healthy breakfast. And that's one of the things that gets you feeling good and gets you back on track. I know a lot of people, it's just getting some movement in. I was talking with a client the other day how he had a little bit of a stretch, like 2 or 3 days in a row. He's somebody who works out very regularly, but he went 2 or 3 days in a row without exercising and kind of eating like crap and drinking more beers than he's accustomed to. But then he talked about on Sunday how he went on a walk. And that just got him back feeling good again and got him back in that habit of moving his body. And because when he moved his body, he was more prompted to want to eat healthy as well. So a lot of times just doing one part of the habit to get you back on track starts to bring the other habits along with it. So realize that if you screw up, everybody screws up. It's not about falling off the rails. It's about how quickly you can get back on it, because successful people aren't perfect all the time, but when they do imperfect things, they get back on track really quickly. Self-correcting is one of the most powerful principles, or one of the most powerful topics that I talk about with my clients, because so many people beat themselves up when they screw up. When you hold yourself accountable to see whether or not you got your workouts in, whether or not you ate right, whether or not you got your hydration in, don't approach yourself with criticism. Approach yourself with curiosity. When you screwed up, don't beat yourself up and be super critical. Ask yourself why it happened and see how you can self-correct as quickly as possible. I hope you guys got something out of today, and I hope it allows you to be a little bit easier on yourself and give yourself a little bit more grace when you screw up. Now, look, I'm not saying give yourself grace every single time you screw up, because then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, come on. You can't just keep making excuses and excuses and excuses and excuses. You have to find a way to hold yourself accountable to a higher level and hold yourself to a standard. But there are often plenty of times where you have to give yourself grace and be like, you know what? I fell off the saddle, I fell off the rails, but I'm going to get back on track as quickly as possible by moving my body or by eating this healthy meal. And that'll help you get back on track really quickly. Self-correct quickly, people. Super important principle. Like I said, this is something that I teach all my clients in the 10-week transformation program, and it's something that you can learn in the 10-week transformation as well. If you are in Nashville, then I'm going to be starting another 10-week transformation very soon, the week of March 21st. Make sure you check out my website to learn more details on that. And if you're virtual, you guys, the virtual program is one of my favorite ways to coach people through it, because I get such a great amount of time one-on-one with them to sit down and see how things are going. And so if you guys are interested in doing that, then go to nickcarrier.com/10WT. If you need somebody to hold you a little bit more accountable to a higher level, because you're doing some things right, but it's still not allowing you to see the progress and the results that you want to see, then I would love to be that person to help give you the framework to help follow through at a higher level, and to help hold you accountable, and to help keep you motivated, and help follow a specific structure that you feel confident in that will get you closer to your goals. So again, if you're virtually, go to nickcarrier.com/10WT, and you can click on the button that says virtual experience. nickcarrier.com/10WT. Looking forward to hearing from some of you guys. Other than that though, y'all, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you feel like self-correcting is something that puts your mind at ease a little bit, and hopefully it gives you a mindset or a philosophy to work with when you do screw up, or when you do fall off your good habits at some point. Self-correct quickly, and it will get you back on track and get you closer to your goals. I hope you feel like this episode helps you get closer to your fitness goals, and ultimately helps you get closer and closer to your best you.